start. Ooh. We are on.
Recording in progress.
Hello. Where's your coat?
Welcome everyone. It is 21 June 2022. This is meeting Whitehall City Council. We'll call to order at 7 p.m. If you would, please join me for a moment of silence, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Finance guys just walking in. Boca.
Mrs. Aug, would you please call the roll?
Yes, Gary.
Cantor.
Present.
Heck. Smith.
Present.
Bailey.
Present.
Dixon.
Present.
Elmore. Present. Coniston. Present. President Potter.
Mr. Pro Temp, I'd like to make a motion to excuse the absent members, please.
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Cantor, a second by Ms. Elmore to excuse the absent members. Ms. Aug, would you please call the roll?
Cantor.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Bailey.
Yes.
Dixon.
Yes.
Elmore. Yes. Coniston. Yes.
The absent members have been excused. I need a motion to approve the minutes for June 7th, 2022, agenda and regular meeting minutes, and the June 14th, 2022, special council meeting agenda and meeting minutes.
Mr. President Pro Tem, I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
I have a motion by Coniston, a second by Cantor to approve the June 7th and June 14th meeting minutes. Mrs. Aug, would you please call the roll?
Cantor.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Bailey.
Yes.
Dixon.
Yes.
Elmore. Yes. Coniston.
Yes.
Minutes have been approved. It's our first opportunity for poll public. Anyone wishing to come forward, you may do so now.
You have to be 18.
Standing committees. First, we have Administration and Financial Management. They did meet last week. The minutes are on file. And we'll meet again next week sometime after 6:30 on Tuesday. Community and Elder Advocacy, Chairperson Dixon.
Thank you, President Pro Tem. We met last week here in on the dais. We have nothing on the agenda tonight. Nothing, no ordinances or resolutions. We'll meet next week in the back around the same time.
Thank you, sir. Community Standards and Enforcement, Chairperson Smith.
Thank you, President Pro Tem. Community Standards Enforcement met last week. We have no legislation on the agenda this evening, and we will meet again next week.
Thank you, Andy. Economic Development, Chairperson Cantor.
Thank you, Mr. Pro Tem. Economic Development met last week. Our minutes are on file. We'll meet again here next week. We also have Resolution 19-2022, which is going to this committee on the whole. For adoption tonight. Go ahead.
Great, thank you. Infrastructure Maintenance and Services, Chairperson Coniston.
Thank you, President Pro Tem. Infrastructure Maintenance and Services also met last week. Our minutes are on file. We'll meet again next week sometime around the 6:30-ish mark.
Okay, thank you. Public Safety, Chairperson Elmore.
Thank you, President Pro Tem. Public Safety met last week. We have an ordinance 31 on the agenda. We will meet again, our minutes are on file. We meet again next Tuesday at 6:30.
Great, thank you, Board. Parks and Recreation also met last week. Their minutes are on file. We'll meet again next Tuesday sometime after 6:30. Officials reports. We'll start off with our mayor, Ken Becker.
Well, the big event coming up is July 3rd, our fireworks night, and that will be at Whitehall Yearling High School. Fireworks will go off approximately between 9:45 p.m. to 10 p.m. Be there, be square. You can still get your tickets. Yeah, I know, that's old saying. Okay. You can still get your tickets here at City Hall. So looking forward to that. Also, July 30th is our Food Truck Festival, and just keep up with the Whitehall Facebook page, and because I know I've already had people asking me about tickets for the tables, so it'll be on there as soon as we get everything straightened out and ready to go for that. Our parade is July 4th, and come one, come all, because we have a lot of candy to throw out, okay? We are making up for lost time, all right? We're just gonna have tons of it, so just come on out. So don't leave one piece on the street, just go out and get it. And music, our next Music in the Park is July 10th. So that's all I have to say.
Crooked Road,
Huh?
Crooked Highway,
Yeah,
very good band.
Nailed it tonight, Mayor.
but I knew what you meant. Crooked Road.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I'm so forgetful,
Road, highway.
Yeah.
but they're still good, no matter what you call them. And then our city administrator, which I think you brought most of your staff tonight, Mr. Zach Woodruff.
I did, thank you, Mr. President. I have no official report this evening. I would ask for favorable consideration on resolution 019-2022. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. City Attorney, Mr. Michael T. Bivens.
Thank you, Mr. President Pro Tem, members of council, and everyone that came out tonight. From the City Attorney's Office, we had Mayor's Court today. It went very well. I would like to report the City Attorney's Office is currently actively engaged in taking a proactive approach towards crime prevention. As you know, a lot of the things that come to my office are reactive rather than proactive. So what we have done, we have had a strategic community conversation. We had our first with Pastor Claude across the street over at New Life, but I'm expecting it to be a more robust, more outreach oriented conversation as we go along and invite more people. And what we're looking at is we're looking at opportunities on what can the City Attorney's Office do as far as looking at the crime statistics and where they are and where it's the highest, and can we do something proactively to start reducing those numbers. So whether it is nuisance abatement actions, whether it's community value discussions, what is it? And we don't necessarily have the answer, but we're engaging in a conversation to have that answer by engaging our community partners. That being said, I would like to publicly thank one of our largest community partners in the Franklin County Commissioner's Office, Commissioner Erica Crawley, Commissioner John O'Grady, and Commissioner Kevin Boyce for what they did last week as far as donating their time, donating the resources, and providing resources to the most vulnerable of our citizens that were affected by the rollout and the loss of power last week. My favorite one of those persons that was out there doing things in the street, her name happens to be Deputy County Administrator Joy L. Bivens. I just want to give her a shout out and speak her name publicly. The things that they did, they were able to at least help at least 10,000 affected citizens throughout Franklin County. My office and some of my staff members went out there to help as well. But it was just a robust initiative. And I say all that to say that it doesn't take, you don't have to have 20/20 vision to see people are going through things right now. A lot of people are going through a lot. Seek opportunities to be a blessing as much as you can. It doesn't take a lot of your time, but there are people that are in need, and there are people that have needs that are way higher than yours. Look for an opportunity in the next 30 days to donate your time and do something of value for someone else. I tell you what, it will make a difference in your life, and it will uplift. Now, on a higher note, next year, I hope, Mayor, that I'm invited to at least sing a duet with Lorena Lacey, who is in my office, and will be singing the national anthem at our upcoming event. I'm just shocked I've never been asked, but I'm putting it out there for maybe next year to be out there.
Consider
Wes
yourself,
is saying no.
consider yourself asked.
I think we have to wait till next year.
Oh God. Well, there's some things I have to work on. There's some things I have to work on with my voice, but when she told me today that she was singing the anthem again, And I was not asked, I said, I'm gonna mention that at council.
Well, now you are asked. I am asking you. Okay, I'm asking you.
Lorena would kill me.
Oh, she has, you know what, and she has a
Microphone
wonderful
right here.
voice, my goodness gracious.
Shouldn't we hear him first?
Should we try, give it a go,
Should we
right?
give it a go?
An audition?
A little audition?
We
That's
don't
great.
believe in that.
That microphone.
Miss Merritt.
So, Mr.
speaks
Bivens,
for
this was
himself.
really part of your official report?
No, I ended the official report, and then
Okay.
I ended it on a high point of, that, so I'm.
However, two
Thank you,
things,
Mr. President.
I do appreciate your proactive stance out of your office and your comment on helping people. We don't have to look really any further than our neighbors. There's a lot of neighbors close to all of us that need something, and
Absolutely.
you don't have to look very far.
Thank you.
Thank you. That brings us to our city auditor, Mr. Kessel.
Thank you, Mr. President, members of council. I have no official report tonight. I am glad to be back in Whitehall and in the state of Ohio, and it's equally as hot here as it is down in Florida.
I can attest
So,
to that.
yeah, I'm still steaming. Just came from the farmer's market, and while we had a few vendors bail on us tonight because of the heat, those that were there, I think, were pleased with the turnout of the folks that came to make some purchases. So it seemed to be going along very well.
I received a cherry pie from there tonight. My son brought me one. He lives at the Lofts there, Norton
Yeah.
Crosby.
I bought a
He always-
pecan tonight.
And he said, hey, you want a cherry pie? I said, well, absolutely.
Yeah.
So he bought some steak and apple
Yeah.
pie and cherry pie and brought me
Good
a cherry
stuff.
pie. Yeah.
Everybody should
Is
go.
this part of his official report?
I think he closed it earlier.
We closed. but
Yeah,
it's-
like Michael did.
Yeah.
I guess I didn't get the.
We're just trying to drum up some business.
That brings us to our esteemed city treasurer, Mr. Alexander.
Thank you, Mr. President Pro Tem. It's challenging to follow these two with the additional items in the report, but I have no official report tonight. Just welcome back, Mr. Quincy. It's good to see everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. There have been no officials reports filed in the council office since the last meeting. Under communications, petitions, and claims, we have the agenda for the June 13th, 2022 BZBA meeting. Also, the minutes for April the 11th, 2022 BZBA meeting. Ms. Aug, would you please call the roll on whether each member of council was given a copy of each item of legislation listed on the agenda, including any add-on legislation?
Cantor,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Bailey,
Yes.
Dixon,
Yes.
Elmore,
Yes.
Coniston.
Yes.
Under third reading, we have ordinance 2022. It is authorizing and approving the amendment to the table of authorized personnel, 161.37A of the codified ordinances titled Office of Mayor, and authorizing and approving the amendment of 161.38 salary schedule titled Salary Schedule.
Mr. President Pro Temp, I'd like to introduce ordinance 2022 and move for the adoption, please.
Second.
I have a motion by Cantor and a second by Elmore for introduction and adoption of ordinance 2022. Is there any discussion? Ms. Aug, would you please call the roll?
Cantor,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Bailey,
Yes.
Dixon,
Yes.
Elmore,
Yes.
Coniston.
Yes.
Ordinance 2022 has been approved. Ordinance number 22-2022 is authorizing and approving a supplemental appropriation in the amount of $47,500 from unappropriated monies in the General Fund 101 to the Building and Lot Maintenance Account 101.95.53,300.
Mr. President Pro Tem, I'd like to introduce ordinance 22-2022 and move for its adoption.
Second.
We have a motion by Coniston and a second by Cantor for introduction and adoption of ordinance 22-2022. Is there any discussion? Ms. Aug, would you please call the roll?
Cantor,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Bailey,
Yes.
Dixon,
Yes.
Elmore,
Yes.
Coniston.
Yes.
Ordinance 22-2022 has been adopted. Under second reading, we have ordinance 26-2022, authorizing the mayor to execute a contract with Change Healthcare to administer medical billing per 143.15 of the codified ordinances of the city of Whitehall declaring an emergency. Is there any discussion on ordinance 26-2022? That is being read by title only. Ordinance number 31-2022 is authorizing the expenditure of $65,000 from the Law Enforcement Trust Fund account 241-0050,000 for training and law enforcement needs. Is there any discussion on that ordinance? Ordinance 31-2022 is also being read by title only. That brings us to Resolution 16-2022. It's authorizing the mayor to enter into a contract with Jess Howard Electric Company for services related to maintaining streetlights and traffic lights throughout the city of Whitehall. Any discussion on that resolution? That resolution is also being read by title only. Under first reading, we have ordinance 34-2022, authorizing and approving a fund transfer in a total amount of $60,000 from unappropriated monies in General Fund 101 to the 314 Technology Fund, appropriating $60,000 from the 314 Technology Fund to the 314-000, 51,000 IT maintenance contracts, and declaring an emergency.
Mr. President Pro Tem, I'd like to introduce ordinance 34-2022 and move for the suspension of all rules.
Second?
I have a motion by Coniston and a second by Smith for introduction and suspension of rules on ordinance 34-2022. Is there any discussion? Ms. Aug, would you please call the roll?
Cantor,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Bailey,
Yes.
Dixon,
Yes.
Elmore,
yes,
Coniston.
Yes.
The rules have been suspended on ordinance 34-2022.
Move to adopt?
Second?
I have a motion by Coniston and a second by Smith for the adoption of ordinance 34-2022. Mrs. Aug, would you please call the roll?
Cantor,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Bailey,
Yes.
Dixon,
Yes.
Elmore,
yes,
Yes.
Coniston.
Ordinance 34-2022 has been adopted. Resolution 19-2022, authorizing the mayor to enter into a cooperative agreement with Woda Cooper Companies, Inc., and declaring an emergency.
Mr. President Pro Temp, I would like to introduce Resolution 019-2022 and move for the suspension of all the rules, please.
second,
I have a motion by Cantor and a second by Elmore to introduce and suspend the rules on Resolution 19-2022. Is there any discussion?
Just that I wanted to speak a little bit to this piece of legislation that was added to City Council's agenda, and we're asking for it to be passed on the first reading. As Council may recall, in January, City Council passed a resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into a very similar agreement with LDG. That is a requirement of the grant that both LDG in the first round and Woda Cooper in a subsequent round, that is a requirement for the state of Ohio's brownfield remediation grant. We're all aware that Woda Cooper is redeveloping the old Sandusky Builders industrial site. Council has a copy of the draft agreement where Woda Cooper will be requesting up to $1 million in that grant funding. This agreement doesn't obligate the city to anything and is merely in other grant programs. Sometimes you need letters of support from the city. For this particular grant program, a cooperative agreement between a private entity and the local jurisdiction is required. The deadline for application for this round is July 1st, and hence why we are here today asking for it to be done on first reading.
Yeah, we appreciate that information being sent to us ahead of time too, so we can review it. Thank you, Mr. Woodward.
Thank you.
Ms. Aug,
Thank you for
Thank you.
offering up the information, Mr. Woodward.
Ms. Aug, we have a motion for suspension of rules on Resolution 19, 2022. Would you please call the roll?
Cantor,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Bailey,
Yes.
Dixon,
Yes.
Elmore,
Yes.
Coniston.
Yes.
Rules have been suspended on Resolution 19, 2022.
Thank you, Mr. President Pro Tem. Move for the adoption, please.
Second?
I have a motion by Cantor and a second by Elmore for introduction and adoption of Resolution 19, 2022. Ms. Aug, would you please call the roll?
Cantor,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Bailey,
Yes.
Dixon,
Yes.
Elmore,
Yes.
Coniston.
Yes.
Resolution 19, 2022 has been adopted. This is our second opportunity for full public. I don't think we have anyone, so we'll move to the community day parade. Anybody?
I don't think there's anything left.
Well,
It's all been mentioned.
Yeah, she did a good job.
The mayor did mention the parade, but I don't know if we've mentioned what the theme is this year. The theme is actually the birth of the village, 1947, the legacy of the city, 2022. So we're celebrating the 75 years of Whitehall. And what's exciting is this parade's gonna be a lot larger because we don't have a parade application. So come one, come all. Enter.
Wow.
Hamilton to Poth to Yearling, I will be there to greet you. Bring your candy, put your signage on your vehicle, and come on out. One of the other exciting things is too, is our grand marshals actually are Jim and Marie Graham. I think you know them well. And they are going to be the portion of our theme as far as the birth of the village, 1947. And then our other grand marshals for the legacy of the city, 2022, is we have a lot of babies that were born in 2022 here in Whitehall. We have 2 sets of twins, and we have 3 other babies that are going to be our grand marshals. So we've got beautiful banners that have been made with a lot of legacy pictures on them. So hopefully everybody comes out to really celebrate this one, because this is going to be a good one.
We have some interesting changes there.
Exciting.
You hold off on the parade till like July 16th. My new grandson to be in that. He's due to be here on the 15th.
I'll take that to
Would you do
advisement.
that? Thank you so much. All right.
I don't know if this has to do with community day court, but I did notice that the next brush pickup is Monday, July 4th. Do we know if that is changing?
That's 2 weeks. They were out today. I mean,
Right,
this
but
week.
it's every 2 weeks,
Right.
but July 4th is the next one.
Well,
but
that's just the
holiday.
beginning of, it's just the beginning of the week, so they'll be out that whole week.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that won't
It's
affect.
just not
the brush
one day.
pickup.
Correct.
Okay,
And I think
so
tomorrow's bulk trash day, isn't that tomorrow?
that's
Yeah.
July 7th.
July,
Oh,
yeah,
it's-
that's in July.
7th.
Okay, I'm thinking, okay.
Look great for bringing that up.
Yes.
Well, that brings us to full council. We'll start with Mr. Cantor.
Well, I thank you so much. Thank everybody for watching. Thank you all for being here. I don't have a lot. The mayor covered pretty much, so did Karen. We have a lot going on. Fireworks, parade, food truck. Market on the Green. It's really nice over there, so that's all I have. See you soon. Elizabeth, because Isabella's at Kings Island. There you go. I know she's not watching. Got it?
Amy, you're up.
Thank you. Thank you everybody who came to watch, and those watching online. I encourage everybody, go onto the Whitehall website, check the calendar. There's something going on almost every weekend, I feel. So check it out and get out and see things. I work outside. I know there are others that do that as well, so stay cool in this heat. That's all I have.
Very well. We'll move to Mr. Dixon.
Thank you, President Pro Tem. Thank you, everyone, for showing up here in the audience. We appreciate it, and certainly those at home, the Woodruff clan. And I know I'm a little late on it, but happy Pride, happy Juneteenth. And I did want to mention to Attorney Bivens that I had the privilege of singing with Lorena Lacey in front of the building down there after my little meeting with her, much to the confusion of the students passing by at the moment. But I'm a former actor and she loves to sing, so we hit it.
and that was a lot of fun. She's really terrific. And I also want to say happy solstice, not just to everyone, but my good friend Charlene Williams, who's a fellow Leo. Both of us are sun signs, so it's a big day for us. So happy solstice, Charlene. And that's it. Thank you.
Princess L'Oreal.
Speeches.
Yeah, I was reflecting on a lot of things there.
Yeah.
Sorry.
First, I want to thank everybody for listening and attending in the audience. Sunday was celebrated Juneteenth and observed it on Monday, the 20th of June. Just a little bit about Juneteenth for everybody that is listening and for those that may not even know why we celebrated that we observed that day and celebrated it on Sunday. June 19, 1865 marked the news of emancipation finally reaching enslaved African Americans in Galveston, Texas, months after the end of the Civil War and the issuing of the Emancipation Proclamation. And so as we approach, that was prior to Independence Day, but just to give credence to the Juneteenth, that's just a little synopsis of what that day is observed and celebrated for. Also, with it being so hot out and the heat index being 101, please everybody stay hydrated, stay cool, and be careful in all this heat. Thank you.
Okay, Karen.
I got nothing.
You got nothing?
No, just thank you all for viewing and see everybody at the parade.
I agree with Karen. I want to thank you all for your work tonight and your comments. Mrs. Aug, well, first I
Motion
need
to
a motion.
adjourn?
Second.
I have a motion by Cantor and a second by Ms. Coniston to adjourn. Ms. Aug, would you please call the roll?
Cantor,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Bailey,
Yes,
Dixon,
Yes?
Elmore,
Yes.
Coniston.
Yes.
we are adjourned.